Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 2. And I know Mel said she was throwing her a slumber party, but this turned more into a gossip party. It was bringing all the gossip back up from the reunion. I sure hope this whole season not going to be about the gossip from the reunion show. I hope next episode we get off this doggone picture. Why the show open up with Martell doing a photo shoot for a calendar? First of all, who even uses a wall calendar anymore? This man gonna end up being on the wall of some mechanic shop. He better be careful. You think he gonna be on the wall of some woman's house? He's gonna be on the wall in a mechanic shop. And isn't it bad luck to put Martell up on your wall? Isn't that like manifesting something wrong? They talk about when you're supposed to put your goals up on the wall. Why would I put a picture up of Martell on my wall? What am I gonna be manifesting? A cheating husband for 7 years and a side baby? Ain't nobody doing that. I was like, whose idea is this? And then when he said it was Mel's idea, I went, what? And then I found out it was his manager name is Mel. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This was going to be a twist in the show this season. But no, it wasn't Mel, the Mel we know. Melody, not Melody. I'm glad to see he's getting some help, though, putting his life back together. And I'm glad to hear he's saying he's so-called getting out his comfort zone, which is interesting because when they was married, anytime Mel had a new idea for a new business or business adventure or anything to do, Martell didn't want to do any of it. Nothing. He didn't want to do anything new. He just wanted to keep doing what they was doing, building houses. And now we see the problem wasn't doing something new. The problem was that Mel was in the foreground. She was up front. He wanted to be up front and center. That's what he didn't like. He didn't like the fact that Mel was the center of attention. He wants to be the center of attention. He said he got a book coming out, a children's book. I guess the kids got to collaborate on and write the book. There's one thing I can say, besides himself, because we all know Martell loves himself the most. I do truly believe the second most important person in his life are his kids after himself. And he loves himself a lot. So Destiny comes over talking about she's going to bring him some baby oil for the photo shoot. And she says she's just trying to work back to rebuild her life. I really wish we could hear the whole Destiny story, but she don't share too much of her story, not at all. But I know what? I know she is rebuilding because from what she told us last week, she pretty much lost everything. So these two are staring each other right in the eyes. Martell lost everything and Destiny lost everything. What does that say? I hope Destiny didn't mess up her marriage like Martell did. One thing I do know about Destiny, she don't tell the whole truth because when she was starting to tell Martell why she wasn't talking to Melody or why Melody wasn't talking to her, she made it seem like Melody was outside her hall with Melody's ear up to the door. That ain't the story, Destiny. The story goes Melody was in a whole other room and she could hear you guys through the walls. That's a completely different story. I don't like when people change stories to fit their narrative so they still look like the good person, the other person looks like the bad person. Tell the real story, Destiny. Wasn't nobody lurking in no hallway with their ear up to your door. That's a misrepresentation. And here go Martell piling on. He always got something nasty to say. Well, that's how Melody is. She likes yes girls. If you're not on her team, she don't want to have nothing to do with you. Well, that's a lot of people's rule. If you ain't for me, then you against me. I don't know how Jesse didn't know that Melody and Tisha don't get along. We all knew, and we ain't even friends with Melody. How you gonna call yourself a friend of Melody, but you didn't know that Melody and Tisha don't get along, and they don't get along enough for you to be telling her business to Tisha? Anybody would know that. I don't even know Melody, and I wouldn't be telling Tisha Melody's business. So Destiny, you either not a friend of Melody's or you a bad friend. Which is it? So I guess this season they introducing Stormy. I like Stormy so far. She seemed like a straight shooter. I like her. And I guess she's going to give Melody some tips because it sounds like Stormy is really successful. I think that's where Melody shot her video for her song was at Stormy's house. Stormy did call out Melody talking about, girl, what was you doing at reunion? Talking about you couldn't remember if you gave fellatio. We all knew Melody was lying, but you know what? Her secret can remain her secret. Plus, I didn't like the tactics that Martell was using. That's Martell's little sneaky tactic he uses on everybody. Whenever Martell is cornered and he don't want to answer a question or he's done something wrong, his defense mechanism is to throw something back on you and put you on the defense. And that's all he was doing with Melody. He was cornered. The conversation was about him. And instead of answering the question and taking accountability, what he likes to do is bring up your dirt. So then you spend all the time defending yourself. Everybody know that trick of Martell. That's how you never have to answer no questions, take no accountability, because you're spending all the time answering his questions and defending yourself. The next thing you know, time is up. You could tell Stormy already watched this show before she came on here because she got a lot of opinions about a lot of people. She said she liked Kimmy, but you could tell she don't like Tisha. And you could tell that she don't like Tiffany. Melody said she ain't buying Tisha nor Destiny to her little slumber gossip party. And Stormy was like, what? Why not Destiny? I guess she hadn't heard that Melody and Destiny fell out. She had to tell her the story of what went on. Basically, Melody said, I don't need Tisha and Marceau as my friends particularly Tisha. You know, when you get a divorce, you got to split up the friends because, you know, you ain't going to be friends with the same people. Melody told Martell, you can have the Scotts. The only Scott that Melody is keeping is Kimmy. The rest of them, Martell got them in the divorce. But Stormy's real quick. I guess Tiffany had written her on the off season telling her, you know, congratulations for being on the show. And Stormy's like, well, we'll see. I don't even know if I like you. Stormy was like, even before the show began, she was sending some emails letting her know, listen, I don't like the way you move. I'm going to have to check you out first before I like you. So they let us know that Wanda's going to start a food truck. Why the hell is Wanda starting a food truck? She should just be enjoying her retirement. I don't know what she's doing this for. You know how much work a food truck is? This is a lot of work. But anyway, hey, it ain't my business. But Tisha dropped the news on Marceau. Yeah, we invested in the food truck. We writing her a check. And Marceau was like, is this what we doing, Tisha? I guess so. If we taking trips to Africa alone, we investing in food trucks alone. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You got to admit, Tisha sure is changing these last 4 years on Love and Marriage Huntsville. 4 years ago, she would have never done this to Marceau. But now, she's like, to hell with it. I'm going to do what I want to do because she done figured out Marceau is going to do what Marceau wants to do. Then here we go talking about this photo again. Now Wanda got to bring up the same photo. And she think Marceau will answer her question. Marceau ain't going to answer your question. Listen, Marceau does what he wants to do. He ain't going to answer your question. All he's going to do is spin you around, make you get frustrated. And I don't believe that's why Marceau shared the picture. I think Marceau shared the picture because he was just mad that Maurice said that he had never even been around Coleslaw. I think that's why Maurice showed the picture to show you've been around her. I don't think Maurice showed the picture in anticipation that the cheating allegations were going to come up about Maurice. I don't think Marceau set up Maurice like that. I think he just didn't know what was going to come out Coleslaw's mouth, and now he knows what kind of stuff can come out her mouth. Wanda up here bringing about, what about this secret apartment? This is why Tisha's so crazy, and she got her mind always thinking, because she don't never get no rest from all this gossip. Even her mama keeps bringing up, I'd have to tell my mama to stay out my business. I've never been a really big fan of Tisha, but right now, you know what? It's almost like they just keep trying to make her scared of the boogeyman that ain't shown up yet. If the boogeyman shows up and the boogeyman means positive proof that Marceau has cheated, then let her deal with it then. But all this stuff, speculation and all this other kind of stuff, leave the girl alone. Until it's standing at her front door, let her go on with her life. And if she don't want to open the door and she don't want to look for it, then you know what? We don't need to be out here looking for her. I guess Jalen finally moved out and got his own condo. I think this was from last year when they was fixing up a condo. I thought they was going to flip that place, but I guess it became Jalen's condo. That's nice to see a young man buying his own first piece of real estate property. I don't know why Kimmy was surprised that he might have some girls up in there. Please, this man is on a television show. He a grown man. You know he gonna have some people up in there. But then again, he ain't too grown. I guess he's still part of this Gen Z, because when you still going over your mama's house stealing her liquor for your own liquor cabinet, you ain't too grown. He said, let me confront Maurice and my mama over these cheating allegations and make sure Maurice ain't cheating on my mama. Good for you, Jalen. Stand up for your mama. That's what you should do. Then Melody has his gossip party. And you know, it was a little shady. She invited Tisha's cousin on over because I don't know how good a friend she is with Tisha's cousin, but I know she ain't that good a friend. She could have left that girl off that invite list, and that girlfriend wouldn't have been mad at all. But we know this is television. We got to add a little drama to it. But I'm with Kimmy. Shoot, if you're going to talk about somebody at the party, then you should have invited her so she could at least defend herself, because they did a whole lot talking about Tisha, and Tisha wasn't even there. I'm with Kimmy. You should have just gone ahead and invited her, and then you could talk about her in front of her face. You know, I love Mel. I love the way she's rebuilding her life. I like her tenacity. I like her grit. I just like a lot of things about Mel. But you can definitely tell that she's been traumatized by Martell, because she's out here right now. She don't trust anybody. She don't trust you as far as she can throw you. You can see the trauma and how it has affected Melody. Even just the way she talks. And she tells Kimmy, listen, don't believe Marceau that he was just making a joke. You know, open your eyes and do these all types of things. And Melody is real quick now to tell everybody, don't believe this, open your eyes. And I know where it comes from, because she probably thinks for herself, she had all those years of seeing some of the things that Martell was doing. She felt maybe her eyes were closed, or she closed her own eyes, or she didn't think it was that serious, or whatever the case may be. And now she's out here sounding the alarm for all the other women out here. And although I understand where it comes from, sometimes it can be a bit too much. Because when she told Kimmy, you better open your eyes, I thought that was a little bit too much. Because Kimmy can make her own decisions. Kimmy can decide what she thinks Marceau's intent was and what Marceau's intent wasn't. And if she comes to a different conclusion than what Melody came with or anybody else came with, that doesn't mean Kimmy's eyes are closed. That just means my eyes are open and I see something differently. That's two different things. I do agree with Melody when Tisha keeps saying that Melody was trying to ruin her marriage, and Melody continually trying to point out that she wasn't the only one who brought up those rumors about Marceau, that those rumors obviously had been in the streets even before this show. And she keeps saying that was back in the streets in Huntsville before 2018. So I understand that Melody doesn't want to be the scapegoat for Tisha on the so-called bringing up rumors about Marceau. No, the fact that they became famous just made those rumors come to the general public. I do understand that though. But I don't like the part about Melody talking about, oh, that's a subliminal message from Marceau, and trying to get Kimmy all riled up more so, telling her she's got her eyes closed, basically saying she's being naive. I think that part is going a little bit too far. Although I understand where it's coming from with Melody because of the trauma that she went behind, for me, that would be a little bit too much for me. I don't think Marceau really was trying to ruin the relationship for Maurice and Kimmy. And I don't even think he was trying to imply that Maurice was sleeping around at that event. Like I said, he was just trying to get back at Maurice because Maurice denied being there at all. And he didn't like the fact that Maurice let him hang out there to dry as if Marceau was the only one at the event. Because the truth of the matter is, Tisha knew they was at the event. Even Kimmy knew they were at the event. So the fact that Marceau was saying was, listen, everybody knew that you were there and I'm going to show the picture. I don't think he was trying to send a subliminal message that Maurice was cheating too. I don't think so. Then Tiffany wants to have a sit down with Kimmy to go over what happened at the reunion regarding this Chamber of Commerce thing, and that supposedly that Tiffany got fired for the Chamber of Commerce. Well, first of all, that is how we knew Tiffany. When she got introduced to the show, Melody said she knew it from the Chamber of Commerce. Tiffany never chimed in and said, well, she was no longer with the Chamber of Commerce, that was 5 years ago. She never cleared that up. So we were still thinking she was with the Chamber of Commerce. Come to find out, Tiffany is saying she wasn't with the Chamber of Commerce for over 5 years ago. Well, then you should have said something, Tiffany. But then she said she wasn't fired. She left with benefits. Benefits? Well, then you was fired. You know what I'm saying? You may not call it a firing, but everybody been working out here long enough to know that when you just quit a job on your own, you don't leave with no benefits. You know when you leave with benefits? Only when you retire, and when somebody wants you to leave, you leave with a severance package because they don't want you to sue and they don't want you to cause no problems. So if you left with some benefits, Tiffany, they just made the deal sweet enough for you to leave. You may not want to call it a firing, but it was a forced voluntary resignation. We know what that is. Then she want to get smart, talking about, well, it's like bringing up something like when you was a 12-year-old. Kimmy's like, oh, so you want to get smart. And Stormy was like, this crazy bee, I had enough of her, and gets up and walks away. So it sounds like Tiffany ain't gonna make no new friends in Stormy. I guess that's why she getting so close to Tisha. I hope next episode we still not talking about this post and this picture. I hope we can move on to something else because I'm ready to have a new topic to talk about. Talk to you later. Bye.